My name is Yong-Yong Chang. I'm from Taipei, Taiwan, and right now my major is Chinese pedagogy. And the reason I choose this major is I like to teach Chinese. Right now, this is my second year, so I'm going to graduate next semester. And I have taught Chinese 101, 102, and 201. I have already taken 6 courses. They are all related to Chinese pedagogy, teaching Chinese as a second language, and Chinese linguistics. And I really like our program because I learn a lot of academic knowledge which can support my teaching. I think I'm going to graduate in May. Yeah, because right now I'm working on my thesis project, and it's about 南道 structure, so how to teach this grammatical form to non-native speakers. So I think I can finish it maybe within 6 months. Yeah. Actually, it is a corpus-based study, and the reason that I want to do a corpus study is because I think it is practical to investigate the structure of 南道, and which is usually believed to be a rhetorical question. And I think it's really hard for non-native speakers. It's because sometimes they cannot understand what is a rhetorical question. So in this case, I want to investigate this, and this is the first grammar point that students will encounter in the first year Chinese. And I think I don't know. I think this I think the result will be I will plan a lesson plan and then see what is the process they are going to what kind of difficulties they are going to face when they are learning 南道 structure. Yeah.
How did you become interested in becoming a Chinese teacher?
Oh, yeah, it's an interesting question because first my major in college is accounting, and then I went to work in an accounting firm, and then suddenly there are a lot of people ask me to teach them English. So that is my first step to become a language teacher. And then I found an opportunity to work in Catholic University of America in DC. So I started to teach Chinese. Then I figured out that it is kind of my dream job, but I don't know any, very good training for that. So that's why I decided to study here at IU. Yeah, and the reason I like to teach students is because I learn a lot from them too. So it's kind of a really interesting interaction with students, and I know that what kind of advantage and disadvantage they face right now when learning a language. So I learn a lot from them. So that's why I want to be a teacher, because I have more interaction with different peoples from different background and culture. Yeah. Right now I'm applying for a doctorate degree, so there are several programs in my mind, and I finished that part. And I think I'm interested in doing research is because research can help me to identify the problems that students has when they are learning a second language. Then I can give more suggestion to other language teachers, because usually we face a lot of problems when we are teaching, but it's really hard for us to find a really good solution or implication. So that's why I want to pursue my doctorate degree. The first option is here. Yeah, the second one is University of Iowa, and then University of Oregon, because they also have a Chinese linguistics program. Yeah.
Talk about what your ideal job would be, the position.
Okay, so I think is a research-based teacher. Being a teacher means that it is okay to work in different places for me. Yeah, for example, it's not just it's okay to work in United States, but I'm also thinking I can teach Chinese to other Asian countries like Japan or Korean or South Asia countries. So I think I have lots of opportunities. I think my dream job the way I would describe it is I can know a lot of people. And language is kind of tool for us to exchange our philosophy or ideology and culture. So I would like to let other people know Taiwanese or Chinese culture, and then they can know, I can know their language too, language and culture. So that is my dream job.
You're teaching right now, these classes you mentioned. Can you talk more about what it's like teaching those courses here?
Okay, so right now we use communicative-based instructions to teach students, which means students will know how to use the target language appropriately in Chinese society. So they will know how to make a phone call or maybe have a meeting with a doctor or plan a travel trip to East Asian countries. So it is a kind of, it's really useful for them to learn a language and feel it is practical. And I think we provide a lot of opportunities for students to speak, but not only speaking skills that we are focused. We also focus on reading and listening and writing skills. So they know how to write an email letter or a really small poem. Yeah, so I think it's really interesting that they can learn language and culture at the same time in a language classroom, which is a little bit different from other programs.
Do you do anything else on campus for work or a job, or just studying, teaching?
Oh, yeah, mainly is studying and teaching, but I like art and music. So sometimes I will go to see ballet and concert. And I really like an event called First Thursday each month, because there are a lot of small handcrafts shops, and then I can take a look at it.
What do you see as the value in studying East Asia and then also studying Chinese?
It's a really good question. I would say that I usually encourage students to study in East Asia countries, because when they go there, they can experience a really different type of culture. And the second thing is they can experience a kind of lifestyle, which is they are the minority in that culture. Yeah, so they can have more sympathy when they speak another foreign language, because that is a really important experience.
I absolutely agree. Yes.
Yeah, and another thing is that they can experience a kind of, because we are really Taiwanese people are really friendly to the foreign speakers. So if they come to Taiwan, there are a lot of people will help them and then know more about the Taiwanese culture. And another thing is when they study in college in Taiwan or China, teachers and other students are willing to help. So it's really good experience. Yeah.
Why do you think people should study Chinese, the language?
This is a kind of question that why do people need to learn a foreign language and why they have to choose Chinese. Yeah, I would say that there are a lot of people speaking Chinese right now. It's not only mainland China or Taiwan, even people in Southeast Asia, they speak Chinese as well. So if you really want to have a kind of travel experience or a work experience in East Asian countries, I think Chinese is the top choice. Yeah, and when you learn Chinese, it's really important because you need to know the culture. Even though you know how to speak the language, but if you don't know the culture, you cannot, get along well with Chinese people. So I think it's really important to learn Chinese. And when you're learning a second language, you can put yourself in a different kind of, position to think the same things that you know right now. So you can have different types of knowledge and then the way of thinking to solve the same problem. So maybe you will be more creative. Yeah, so that's why I think learning a Chinese or a second language is important.
Yes. Speaking the language, knowing the culture helps you get along with people in those countries. Did you know foreigners in Taiwan?
Yeah, but not many.
Yeah, people encounter a few, I guess, in their lives. What was their attitude you found towards, I guess, Taiwan or Chinese culture if they didn't speak Chinese?
Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, usually people will have two different extreme attitude. One is accept all the differences. The other one is criticize the things that they encountered. Yeah, because I would say American culture and Chinese or Taiwanese culture are really different. So for example, take this as an example. When we have a dinner, in America, you usually have soup first, right? But in China or Taiwan, we have soup later. So, and then we don't drink alcohol when we are having our dinner. Yeah, but maybe after we have a dinner, we will drink alcohol. But that is a different kind of ways of living. Yeah, but some people, if they don't know the culture or the language, they will just criticize everything. Yeah. So I will say that, but some people will embrace these differences and then experience this kind of culture and think it is really fun. Yeah, so I will say that it would be better if we are all open-minded to know the differences that we have and then to respect each other. I think that will make our life better. Yeah.
Yeah. I remember, I just know in China there were Americans or just Westerners who, yes, they only criticize things, and it's upsetting.
Yeah.
So yeah, they should learn the language. And, yeah, it's sad people become this way. I guess in the U.S., what experiences have you had? Have you been outside Indiana?
Yeah, I have. I live in DC for 2 years.
That's right.
Yeah, and I think the experience there is different from the experience here. I mean, people there are more, they like to make decisions really quickly. But people here is in a kind of in a slow path, and they are more friendly. Yeah, so I think I like Indiana and Bloomington more. Yeah, in some ways.
Interesting.
Yeah, so even though within the same countries, different places has different culture. Yeah, so.
I'm sure. I live in Sichuan. People say Sichuan people are like very laid back, calm, drink tea, play mahjong, these things, I guess. Have you been to other countries?
No, but I traveled to Malaysia and Malaysia once. Yeah.
Have you been to mainland?
Oh yeah, once as well.
Where'd you go?
Beijing, Mongolian, and Xi'an. Yeah, north part of China.
Last question here is about the campus events. I guess, what do you look for when you attend events on campus? What you said you like arts and music.
Yeah. So I went to a Kayakun workshop. I really like this because it's another Asian cultures here in IU. So I always want to learn an instrument, but it is really expensive when I was in Taiwan, and I don't have any opportunities. And I think I will expect more international events at IU because, the language program here is fantastic. Yeah, but we don't have lots of cultural events for students to experience the culture. Yeah, so I would say I expect more that kind of like movies, Chinese movies, Asian movies, or more Korean instruments workshop. Yeah, something like that.
Cool. Sorry. anything else you want to say? Talk about your experience at IU or about, I don't know, research about life here in Indiana. Anything else you want to say?
I think professors here are really supportive. Yeah, so they are willing to help students to know more they want to know. So I think it's really good for me because I don't want to be a student who just waiting for other people teach me things. Yeah, so I would say Indiana University at Bloomington is really a good school. Yeah.